The European Union prepares to sign aid and trade accords at a Vilnius summit with several East European countries, angering Russia. The EU association agreements could frustrate Moscow's efforts to form a Eurasian Union of former Soviet satellites benefiting from cheaper Russian energy. Ukraine wants an association agreement, but Russia is turning up the pressure on the country, which is dependent on Russian gas. Who wins and who loses in this brewing commercial Cold War? And what's in it for the EU to boost aid and trade to its eastern neighbors? Hello, I'm Chris Burns, and welcome to The Network, hard talk with a matrix of newsmakers. Wired into this edition here at the European Parliament in Brussels, Hrant Kostanian, EU foreign policy analyst at the Center for European Policy Studies, or CEPS. Also here at the European Parliament, Grigory Nemiria, a member of the Ukrainian Parliament and chairman of the Subcommittee on European Integration. And in Yerevan, Tevan Pogosyan, a member of the Armenian Parliament from the Heritage Party. Here a question to all of you, starting with Hrant. Is this a commercial Cold War in the making between the EU and Russia? Is this a Yalta-style carving up of markets between them?
What EU is offering to the Eastern Partnership countries through association agreement and deep and comprehensive free trade area is a tested and excellent blueprint for reform. EU is not only giving them the agreement, but also committing itself to support those countries during the implementation stage, because those reforms are very costly and they also require EU's technical assistance.
Okay, so you see it as a positive thing. You don't see this as a commercial Cold War. Grigori, do you see it that way? Do we risk having a commercial Cold War here?
Chris, it looks like it's a commercial Cold War style in making, but I think it's just perception. In the essence, it's about two competing models of integration. Integration by attraction, union based on values, and integration by coercion, which is, I think, the Eurasian Union is all about.
Tevan, do you see that as coercion? Do you see this as a commercial Cold War?
In reality, I think everything started from the very interesting point over which I would really agree with Hrant, saying that it's all about reform, positive reform, and I would call it development strategy. But from some while, it's turned into some geostrategical interest, and then it's, I think, turned into even sometimes in a real politic approaches.
Okay, let me ask Grigori. I mean, how much is Russia, and you probably sense that in your country, how much is Russia trying to bully its near abroad into joining its Eurasian Union?
It is trying, and the instruments it uses are energy, trade, tariffs, customs. So the most recent conflict in August and September was called a chocolate war, when all of a sudden Ukrainian chocolate was regarded by the Russian sanitary fittery service as not good for the Russians to consume.
Okay, Grigori, you see that as intimidation. Hrant, how much intimidation do you see from your side?
Well, Russia is turned this into a geopolitical game, and this is becoming a zero-sum game. And in that sense, all those measures that Russia is employing are not in line with Russia's commitments to WTO. Russia just became a member of WTO, okay. And it seems that when those rules are not in line with Russia's geopolitical goals, Russia simply ignores them. Okay, and this is dangerous.
Tevan, you're going to sign with the Eurasian Union. Yes. So do you see Russia bullying you into signing it?
I think there was a really pressure over which Armenia should change its kind of a commitment or where to go, but we need to be able to stand and really take care of our agenda of development, which in my way understanding that Armenia need to pick up and keep up with the model of a European country, and okay. For that there will be a lot of pressure and we need to stand it.
Well, Grigori, though, why risk hurting ties either with the EU or with Russia by signing one of these agreements? What's the point of signing something if you're going to cause problems?
Chris, it is true that our relationships with both Russia and the European Union are relationships of highly asymmetric interdependence. But what is at stake now, finally, is a choice. It's a choice, if you want to simplify. It's like the choice between where to play, in the Europe Champions League or the Kremlin's Cup. So therefore, the majority of Ukrainians, and there's a societal consensus for that, opted for the European Champions League. And this is, in this sense, it's civilizational choice.
Okay, but Hrant, I mean, why become just a partner of the EU when you can join the Eurasian Union? Isn't it better for some of these countries like Armenia to do that, to join the Eurasian Union?
If a country joins to the Eurasian Union, it means that they lose ability and competence to pursue their own external trade policies. What you need to have is those countries being able to sign the agreement with the EU and at the same time negotiate and sign another trade agreement with Russia. And this is how EU frames the issue. It shouldn't be a choice. It is Russia that made it a geopolitical game.
Tevan, some people call this Eurasian Union effort by Moscow to be a neo-imperialist attempt to regain control of its near abroad. Do you see it that way?
Yes, in reality, there is this point over which I said, seems in Russian understanding, this is mainly that they would like to get back their near abroad. And turning out from the development agenda, from the country's model of development to the normal democratic kind of a country, that you need to go back and just join the wish of Russian imperialistic thoughts.
Okay, let's go to Grigory. Do you think, I mean, the critics of the association agreements see them as the EU encroaching on Russia's traditional markets? Does it have to be a zero-sum game?
No, it's all about rules. And it is true that two unions, European Union and the future Eurasian Union, are incompatible. And therefore, it's all about compatibility. What EU proposes is a transparent rules of economic integration. And that's why I would like to be very clear to our Armenian colleagues that membership in the customs union is incompatible with the deep and comprehensive free trade agreement with the European Union.
Wait a minute. Hrant, do you see it that way? Is that incompatible?
Definitely. You cannot join to the customs union at the same time raising your tariffs and then sign a deep and comprehensive free trade area at the same time lowering your tariffs. And I can go on and on with this type of examples. Those two things are not compatible. What is compatible is to have free trade both with the EU and with Russia.
Tevan, I mean, Russia is your biggest trading partner. Doesn't it just make sense to join the Eurasian Union for you?
First of all, Russia is only the partner with whom we have 1/3 of our trade. 2/3 are much more with the European Union. Being a member of the customs union is really contradicting to also have a deep and comprehensive free trade agreement. But main choice of Armenia was not just simply go and join the customs union. I think there was a pressure for that. And we need to be really understanding that unfortunately Armenia was really facing some issues over which there was a very difficult choice.
Right. Last question to you, Grigory. Make an argument to a European taxpayer why they should be paying your country support to open up trade with you. What's in it for an EU citizen to have those relations, closer relations with your country?
Because Ukraine belongs to Europe. Ukraine borders 4 members of the European Union. Proximity matters. Ukraine provides the market for 46 million. Why this is mutually beneficial? Because the EU provides market for 500 million. And it's about strengthening Europe, because the strength of Europe is a union of values, the union that provides freedom of movement. This is good investment, political, economic, security investment in the future successful European Union.
Grigory, thank you very much. That's all the time we've got for now. I'd like to thank our guests, Hrant Kostanian, Grigory Nemiria, and Tevan Pogosyan. I'm Chris Burns, and until next time, thanks for connecting with The Network.